A few moments later.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome once again to Sport Church, where we gather together to worship at the altar of competition where grown men and women beat the shit out of each other, drive around in circles, and play with balls. I'm your host, John Kerman, aka Friar Mini. I'm a United States Marine Corps veteran. 2311 was my MOS. I'm a card carrier member of the E4 Mafia, allegedly, and the founding member of our new network, Barracks Party Media. Like I always say with this show, we got a lot to unpack in a short time to do it, especially when I got my brother Bishop Poot Dog with his plethora of MMA news, which everybody loves and everybody's into. He's going to bring him on first. We served together at the all-inclusive resort known as 43 Area Las Pulgas in Camp Pendleton, California, the most holistic company ever in Marine Corps history. Ammo company, hoorah. Yeah, that's how bad it was. Oh, great it was. I don't know. We'll let Poot tell you. All right, here he is, the brother Bishop Poot Dog.
What's up, Minnie? How you doing? It's the brother Bishop Bookdog from the First Sports Church, Nothing But the Truth. That's right, Minnie. And last night, you can say I'm your combat sports guru because we're going to be talking Ryan Garcia news.
Yeah.
A spectacular victory.
An
I have not
unexpected victory, right?
Well, yeah, very much so unexpected. I hadn't been talking about Ryan Garcia because there's been so much going on in MMA lately with UFC 300 and everything else that it was kind of and Mike Tyson fighting Jake Paul and everything. That sideshow that was Ryan Garcia, I really didn't want to unpack and get into, but he's forcing us to now. Without a doubt. He's the king. He's definitely the king. He's a king of boxing right now.
All right, next up, he joined me Friday night on the bar. He's been a co-host on the bar and Sports Church and regular contributor on both for quite a long time. He's also a United States Marine Corps veteran. It's weird how I collect these guys. He's from the great state of Wisconsin, which is where I hail from. It's Wisconsin, by the way, not Wisconsin. I'll slap you in the face. You say Wisconsin. If you remember back in the day, Pterodactyl might remember this when the Badgers won the Rose Bowl against UCLA. The headline in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel was Wisconsin wins Rose Bowl. So don't say Wisconsin, it's Wisconsin. But without further ado, the comms guy. And oh, by the way, if you're listening on a device, I'm going to put it a little further away from you because I'm going to take my headphones off. Here comes the one and only Pterodactyl. Do we actually know is that the sound that they made, or did you just come up with that on your own?
I just made it up.
All right,
it works. Okay, if you were to guess that sound, like if you had blinders on and if you had a blindfold on and everything, and you had your headphones on with blindfolds on, you didn't know it was T making that sound, and you were given a multiple choice, and on that multiple choice there was like a screaming eagle, a pterodactyl,
or a
wounded
magpie.
Animal. Yeah, what would you guess?
A magpie. I would guess a magpie. The little cocksuckers in Australia.
I'd probably guess a pterodactyl.
I mean, for all I know, they could have sounded like the Predator when Schwarzenegger all did this.
Jesus. All right. Without further ado, last up, but certainly not least, we call him Pops because he's my Pops. He's been in the auto racing industry for over 50 years. So I know of nobody else who talks in depth and accurately about the sport. Please welcome, with his horrible red on red Cincinnati shit, Reverend Pops.
Hey, but I don't have 4 eyes.
He's a cardinal. Here's the problem, Pops.
Yeah.
When I look up, I'm completely blinded by the sun. When I look at my screen, I can't see shit with the sunglasses on. So that's what I got like going on here. But here,
well, talk to the big guy and tell him to turn down the sun.
Oh man, I'm in Phoenix.
You're working. Yeah,
he's in the valley of the sun. It's literally called the Valley of the Sun where he lives.
Hey, I really got fooled yesterday. I was looking at schedules and so I could give the report today, and it looked like everybody was racing at 3:00. It was F1, NASCAR, IndyCar. They were all racing at 3:00. And then I found out that the 3:00 that F1 was racing at was 3:00 last night or this morning.
I saw that. I almost watched.
And being the dutiful reporter, I stayed up to watch the start. I didn't get very far in the race, but I did record it.
Where were they racing at?
China. You know our buddies across
China.
Those are our buddies.
China.
This is the first time we raced in China in probably 6 years. I mean, they had money problems before COVID. Then they had COVID to cover up the money problems, and now we had a race. And you guess what?
What?
Can you imagine who won?
Verstappen.
Yep.
Weird.
Although the other part of it is that while Red Bull walks away with everything, underneath it's a scramble. It really, really is. Ferrari and well, everybody is taking a piece of the podium. So it's that part is kind of you forget about the first two cars and watch behind it, and it's a scramble. So
I have an idea to make F1 funner. Okay. So my bachelor party, we went to the unlimited go-kart track.
Yeah.
And the first race, I got put in a cart and I smoked everybody.
Yeah.
Like on a small go-kart track, I won by 5 seconds, which is a fucking lot. Right? So they put me in the worst cart. I finished third. Then they put me in the middle cart and I still won. So how about we do this with F1? You win a race, next race, you have to strive fucking Force India. Are they even a thing anymore? I don't know. But you know what I'm getting at? Like, put Max in a shit car, put the fucking drivers driving for the shit car in his Red Bull car, whatever it is. It'd be a lot more interesting because F1 is I love F1 because I love the cars, I love the sound, I love the tracks, I love the technical aspect of it. But it has absolutely been this way. Tell me I'm wrong, Pops. For fucking 25 years, where one dude just dominates for 5 seasons, then another dude takes over for 5 seasons, and another dude, and nobody else stands a chance.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the way it has been going back to Michael Schumacher.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So
why do we do that? How about I win? Fuck you.
Well,
the $1.5 billion
you can always do the way the SCCA does, and they just add weight to the car every time you win.
Yeah, let's do that.
And the problem with that is that Red Bull would be tipped over because the weight would be so high. Now the thing you gotta keep in mind though is that in 2026 it starts all over because they all have to have new cars by 2026.
How much money?
The bad news is, you remember Red Bull was powered by Honda.
Yes.
And then Honda went away, and then Red Bull bought the Honda engine plan, and so they were still back in the deal. And now it turns out that in 2026 it's going to be a Ford engine. So I mean, it's not like they're not bringing all the money to the fore. So it's going to be wild.
Oh boy. You muted yourself, Pops.
You muted yourself, or
yeah, he did. I can't unmute him. Pops, you muted yourself. Son of a bitch. Your mic isn't connected. That's what it's telling me.
Yeah, that's no good.
I didn't do fucking shit. I
didn't. Your mic is still unplugged or muted. Something to figure it out. Damn it.
A few moments later.
Nope. Still don't have you. You're killing me, Smalls. No, it's still unplugged. Oh my gosh.
Should we move on to something else until?
We absolutely should move on to something else because obviously he's not fucking figuring it out. Go ahead, T.
No, I was gonna say we could go into the whole Arizona Coyotes situation. They got sold off within the week. They just got. Last time we were on, we were talking about maybe Hartford might be in the running. Well, it turned out the owner of the Utah Jazz is moving the Arizona Coyotes out to Salt Lake City now. And I seen the Coyotes these last 2 seasons have been splitting the rink with the Arizona State campus at the Mullet Arena there, and that only holds about 5,000 people in it. Within the first 2 hours of the team officially being moved to Utah, they sold 6,000 season tickets already in just 2 hours. So, nice. Yeah, you get a lot of complaints, a lot of politicians and stuff in Arizona complaining that the Coyotes didn't do enough to stay. Well, they never were selling the tickets there. They had the chance to build a new arena in Tempe for them, and the voters and community turned it down. So, you can blame whoever you want, but the Coyotes just never really took off in Arizona like I think the league wanted to. And Bettman's been wanting to keep the Coyotes in Arizona for the longest time. Really was the league that kind of was holding them there. And
where are they going to go, though?
They're going to be staying. They're going to play in the same arena as the Jazz. So it'll just be like just like how they schedule games between the Bulls and the Blackhawks in the United Center or any other town that has 2 teams playing out of the same arena. And yeah, the Coyotes never tried to really work something out with the Suns that they could have split the arena there if they wanted to stay in Phoenix. And now they're talking. I've been reading rumors of expansion teams coming up that the league might go all the way up to 36 teams in the near future, and Arizona might get a franchise back again. And it's like, there's plenty of places where hockey actually works. I think they need to start giving some more franchises to these some more northern towns, even some more Canadian teams, because they want to bring back the Arizona Coyotes again, and
nobody wants to go to play in Canada though.
And then, well, I mean,
think about it. All right, hockey salaries aren't that big, right? So, say you're getting paid $5 million US dollars, and you go to Canada, wipe 50% of that right off the top, right? Then 10% to your agent. So now you're making, instead of $5 million a year or $10 million a year, you're making $4 million. Why would any professional athlete, unless it was like your last chance, play in Canada? I wouldn't. There's no way.
Well, yeah, player wise, yeah, it's nice to be in those places that you don't get taxed to hell on it.
Right. You know why Shohei? To dive into baseball and interrupt your segment a little bit. You know why Shohei's deal was so big? So big. Yes, he's the most talented baseball player in history. But 2, he had to fucking get that contract to buffer the taxes. Also, his interpreter was stealing money from him. That helped too. But
well, he also deferred a whole bunch of the payments on that until
you know what that is. You know what that is, T. You know what that is, T. He owns a piece of the Dodgers when he's done playing.
Right.
That's what it is. That's how they pay that out. There's no other way they can pay that out. They're not just going to all of a sudden write him a $600 million check. They're like, here, you own a piece of the Dodgers. That's how that works. Guaranteed.
Yeah, but
anyways, back to hockey.
How does that work if he moves out of California then when he's getting paid? Because if he doesn't got to pay California taxes on that money, if
I was him, I'd move to Monaco. I'd move to Monaco where there are no taxes.
So yeah, I don't know how it works, but it's the Dodgers paying him out, so you'd think they'd still have to pay the California taxes.
Oh, trust me, they'll figure a way around it.
Right.
People with a lot of money find a way to keep their money-ish. All right, keep going with the NHL. What else you got for me?
But yeah, like I said, I was seeing that there's talks of the league expanding all the way up to 36 teams, which you're starting to dilute.
Jeez.
I think you're starting
they just
added the Seattle.
Didn't they just have a contraction a couple of years ago? Like, what are they doing?
No, they've expanded twice now in the last couple of years. They added the Vegas Golden Knights. What was it? The Vegas Golden Knights were 5-6 years ago, and then the Seattle
they won the Stanley, right?
3 years ago. Yeah, the Knights are the defending Stanley Cup champions right now. And Yeah, Seattle made the playoffs last year, missed it this year. But yeah, so they've already expanded 2 more. And they're talking bringing back the Coyotes. They're talking bringing back the Atlanta Thrashers, which they never sold that well. And they had. Go ahead.
No. I'm talking to fans out here because this is a big deal out here, right? And according to fans, the plan's to bring back the Coyotes. That's the plan.
I think it's
they all believe it. They all believe it's going to happen. Like they all. I'm not a hockey fan. I don't care. I never went to the stadium. I never went I didn't even know where they played or anything, even though I live out here.
Yeah, but for the longest time they were in Glendale at the Gila River Arena, and then they went to Tempe to where Arizona State plays because basically Glendale kicked them out.
All I know about my high school hottie lives out there, so that's all I know about Phoenix.
Why did Glendale? Bob Beard lives out here too. I ought to look him up. Why did Glendale kick him out? I should. Why did Glendale kick? I haven't yet. Why did Glendale kick him out?
I'm not exactly sure. I don't know. The Coyotes weren't selling tickets like crazy, so it actually going to a smaller stadium, they're able to fill it up more. So that was nice. But yeah, I don't know if they weren't bringing in enough tax revenue or what the deal was there. That was a few years ago when they got kicked out. But yeah, Glendale kicked them out of the Gila River.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd definitely go to a game here and there if I had a friend that would invite me, like Minnie used to invite me to Goals games back in the day.
Oh, that was so much fun, wasn't it?
Yeah,
San Diego Gulls, yeah.
Yeah, I literally go to some Coyotes games. I don't have a problem with going to Coyotes games. This just doesn't seem to be much of a fan base because I know back home I've got drugged to so many Blackhawks games because people I know are sports fans and they invite you to games, man. You know what I mean? And when you go see live hockey, it is exciting and fun for sure.
Yeah, it's a fun time.
Not so much on the internet.
The Valley's still going to have hockey because they're moving the Tucson Roadrunners now up to the Mullet Arena where the Coyotes were playing. So the Tucson Roadrunners are moving up to Tempe now in the AHL. So that's one of the.
Mullet, is that some kind of corporate sponsorship? Is that named after the 1980s hairstyle? It was made popular by douchebags everywhere.
Yeah, it's Arizona State Stadium, so I'm guessing it's probably named after some Arizona State alumni or something like that.
Yeah, it looks like Minnie's been dragged to some Blackhawks games as well.
Yeah, he's got the Clark Griswold jersey on from Christmas vacation.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right, because Minnie claims to be a Detroit Red Wings fan somehow.
Yeah, fell apart down the stretch there. What lost? I think it was 11 out of their last 18 games to fall out of the playoffs, and the Capitals passed them up on the last day.
I may be moving teams. I don't know. I may be moving teams, hockey teams. They're just this is like a decade plus of just absolute.
Yeah, they were so dominant in the 90s and 2000s, and they haven't been good in a while now. And
no.
The Blackhawks had another terrible season too. So, but they got Connor Bedard. We'll see how that works out because he missed a good portion of the season with that broken jaw. So we'll see how he develops.
Here's the thing about being a Blackhawks fan, I believe, and it's about the same as being a Bulls fan or a Laker fan. I mean, we got what we did in the past. I mean, and I know you could say the past is for cowards and losers and things of that nature, and today is what's relevant, and that's true to a certain extent. But I mean, it's like the Blackhawks can definitely rest on some past laurels. I mean, if they have a couple of bad years, man, they over the years they've had some monster squads, monster teams. Yeah. And they've had some championships
in the 2010s, but then like my son was a fan of them back then. But then those championship teams, they had that one pervert guy that was in the office. That's why my son stopped cheering for them after that story came out, where he was bribing one of the players with that he had the
I remember
sexual favors for ice time.
Yeah,
emotional damage.
It's kind of like Vince McMahon. It's kind of like Vince McMahon, only with homosexual stuff mixed in.
Yeah, it was some office. It was some office guy.
Some crazy office deal. He's like,
They covered it all up, and then this guy left the Blackhawks and went on to coach up in Houghton, Michigan, and then he assaulted some high school kids too.
Oh yeah,
and that's when the whole story broke, and then my son's like, "Well, I'm done with the Blackhawks," so he switched teams. He's a Hurricanes fan.
Man, I don't wear no damn freaking pedo Blackhawks gear either, man. I ain't down with that shit either. Now that you mention it. Now that you reminded me of all that, forget I said anything about the Blackhawks.
Then the Florida Panthers had Joe Quenneville, who was the coach of the Blackhawks when all this stuff went down at the time, and they fired him mid-season. I think the Panthers had the best record in the NHL at the time, even when they fired him.
Minnie, so you got the Blackhawks jersey. Is that a camo Penn State hat you're wearing as well?
No, he's got the Cubs.
Oh, I thought it might be Penn State to match his Blackhawks jersey. I'm just checking.
I'm 37?
Going to class.
Oh, my God. 37. My girlfriend sucked 37 dicks.
In a row?
I see where you were going with that joke now.
Yeah.
What joke?
But yeah, also in hockey, the Stanley Cup playoffs did start yesterday. We got 2 games in yesterday. Started with the Carolina Hurricanes winning 3-1 over the New York Islanders. Nope. And then, which was funny, we were out at we went down to Holy Hill yesterday. My son, being a Hurricanes fan, one of his friends was texting him. And like photoshopping all the scores. It was like he thought they were down like 7-1, and then he sent them another one that said like 13-2, and he's like, "Okay, this can't be real." And it's like, no,
that's dirty.
3-1 yeah. He thought like, dirty. What is going on? No, it was like, what? Dirty, they got they got a U8 kid goaltending for game 1 of the playoffs? So it's like, no, it was all joke stuff. And then, then the Bruins, which have in the recent past owned the Toronto Maple Leafs in the playoffs, are facing off with them again in the first round. Although last year the Leafs did take the Bruins out, and the Bruins want a revenge, and they put up 5 on the Leafs yesterday to cruise to a pretty easy victory for their game.
Right. So if I was going to buy another hockey jersey, should I buy a Hanson Brothers jersey or should I buy a Boston Bruins jersey?
So you want to get back into the Bruins? Or I guess
Irish.
Not back into.
Do I go back to my Irish thing and go for the Bruins, or do I buy a Hanson Brothers jersey?
The Bruins are always. The Bruins are always competitive. Yeah, the Hanson Brothers jerseys. I like the movie jerseys.
What kind of low life, no good bandwagon jumping mother are you, bro? What are you doing?
Shut the fuck up. No one cares. Know your fucking place, trash.
You're gonna break your leg jumping on and off the bandwagon here, bro. Just slow your roll. Stick with one team.
I do like some of them.
I'm giving you a little crap because you're wearing the Blackhawks jersey. You ought to be pushing back and telling me how
I should be.
Where's my Chicago this, my Chicago that, and I'll give you the middle finger and say I'm from Indiana in the first place. But I'm just saying. Yeah.
Well,
I'm definitely a Chicago sports fan.
When I start dyeing my beard, I'll let you know.
Well, it looks like Pop's got his microphone fixed now.
When I stop, let me tell you something. When I stop, when I stop dyeing my beard, you'll know because I look like motherfucking Santa Claus, okay?
Shut the fuck up. No one cares. Know your fucking place, trash.
Why mention the beard if you don't care, Minnie?
I love you, man. You're
Right
my
on.
boy. You're my boy.
Right on.
We don't break balls. There's no point, right?
Well,
Mate, if you put me, T, and Pook in a bar and just shove us into, like, let's say, like a, I don't know, pick a university and shove us into one of those bars where all the woke kids hang out, and us three are sitting in the bar talking shit, two things are going to happen. Half the bar or the entire bar is going to be shocked by us, and then we're going to get in a fight. And we're going to win that fight because, well, it's Pook.
Well, if you're fighting woke chicks, how the hell you expect to lose?
It's me and T. It's three Marines. Like, I'll take 3 to 12 odds on that. Like, you know, we got this. We got fights in Tijuana. And what was that fucking one place we were fucked at? Where was it? Where was it, Pook? Come on. What was it?
I don't know. I am not fighting any college kids, first of all. Second of all,
we did. That was my job.
The college, yeah, it was your job when you were 18 years old. Dude,
Fairhurst.
I am not
go
fighting.
Punch that guy. I'll pay your tab.
They'd love us anyway. They'd be buying us beers. It'd be great. It'd be a fun time. I'm sure we'd have a fun time with the woke kids. I mean, I'm sure. Ain't no one gonna kick anyone's ass. No one's good. No. We'll be fine.
What color is the sky on the planet you're living in right now? Because this is not the Pook I know.
Man, I don't know. All I know is now that I had one incident maybe 3 years ago. I don't know if you remember it. And outside of that, I go to bars all the time. I never have a problem with anybody, man. I'm really cool. I'm really
that
cool
helps when you're like 6'3", you know.
It'd be really hard. I'm just saying, it'd be really hard. Man, these woke kids would really have to push way past the limit.
That's what I'm here for.
I'd calm you down. I'd sit you down and be like, "Hey, Minnie, we don't want to do this. We don't really want to do this."
Yes, we do, Pook. Yes,
well,
we
do. Here's the problem with getting into street fights at any age, and we've both been very lucky that no one's been murdered. Because when their head bounces off the freaking concrete, or your head bounces off the concrete, it could be coma time. It could be freaking graveyard time, possibly. It could be prison time for someone.
That's why you hockey style it. You grab their jersey, you punch them, you knock them out, and you let them down very nicely.
How much have you had to drink already?
That's what happened to me at that steakhouse.
A lot.
You really sound Irish in the first place.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, you sound Irish in the first place. That's okay.
There's something about being out to dinner with 2 Marines, and you end up on your back on the ground looking at a big son of a bitch.
That happens.
Yeah, I'm not the fighter. I'm the guy that's supplying the transportation, and I end up on the ground. Oh well.
Hey, let me tell you them. All right, Pook. We'll get back to you in a second. T's got to finish up his shit, and then I'm gonna smoke a cigarette because I need to do that. So, T, anything else you got for us? Since we went off on that tangent.
It's all good. Stanley Cup playoffs will continue today. Actually, just starting up in the next 15 minutes or so. Tampa Bay and Florida should be facing off. Then you got Washington and the Rangers playing later on. Colorado and Winnipeg, and then Nashville and Vancouver will be the nightcap for today's games. So they all got to get their game ones in for the playoffs, and next week we'll see how the brackets shaping up a little bit more. But yeah, we got a lot to get through, so I can pass it off to either Pops or Pook or whoever is going next on there. If Pops wants to finish his racing segment he was doing earlier.
Yeah, because I don't have anything to add to it, so it's not a big deal. I just got, what's going on now? Oh, there we go. All right. Caitlin Clark is going to be paid $75,000 a year.
The internet all blew up on that. Like, oh, it's so sexist. Look how much Victor Wembanyama made. It was the number 1 pick in the NBA, and it's like, yeah, because the NBA actually makes money.
Yeah,
everybody's complaining. Oh, the women's players don't make enough. If you want the women's players to make more,
then show up and buy tickets.
Yeah, support them.
If you're losing money, you can't
like the
pay your
conversation I had
players.
about dirt track racing. Show up and buy a ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just you even had Biden out there commenting on it about, it's such a bad thing that the girls don't make as much, and yeah, it's like basic economics, bro.
But whatever's on the script, the guy's gonna read. Man, dude's a puppet, man.
Right?
He can't even read his script.
Yeah, I mean,
he gets off the script a lot, and when he does, he starts talking about
his uncle getting eaten by cannibals and stuff.
Corn pop, man. Poor corn pop.
What about some houses had the right roofs?
Oh yeah. Here we
go.
Yeah, here we go. I was waiting for it. Here we go.
Oh yeah. Oh, let's pretend he didn't say that. Okay. Let's pretend he didn't say that.
Why don't you do the bar next Friday and just come at me? All right. Here's the thing. Pook, can you do the bar next Friday?
I don't think so. I'll be working next Friday. That's like every Friday.
Switch shifts with somebody, you fucking motherfucker. You can do that, right?
Okay, all right. You worked at a restaurant, okay, for many years.
Yeah.
Switch shift on a Friday. Listen to what you're saying.
All right. You gotta go.
Yeah, okay. Everyone, okay.
All right. My bad.
I'm coming for you! No.
Medic!
No.
I'd actually have to take some vacation time for that. Maybe we'll set it up sometime, man.
Yeah, we'll have to do that.
We'll have to set it up.
We'll have to have the debate.
Yeah, or
versus Mini, the normie.
Yeah, we could definitely debate. I could use. We're at the point where we could still use Google I can just pull up all these.
Well, we can't use Google to get pictures of. We can't use Google to get pictures of white people, but I don't know. We could use it
exactly. Well, I mean, that's a coincidence too.
Did you hear the latest part about Google and their AI?
No,
yeah, they fired him.
You can't get a Republican.
Oh yeah. I played that on.
It's all Democrat.
I played it on the bar Friday. T actually played it for me. Yeah. A guy put it out. His channel is Cancel Clothing Companies, which whatever. I don't know what that means, but he put out a video and he broke it down like step by step. Anyways, back to sports. I need to smoke a cigarette. Can I do that?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
You guys not burn the house down?
No.
Pook. When you dye your beard, you gotta dye the whole thing, motherfucker. The whole thing. Not because you look like a Warhammer character right now. I love you.
It just grew in a little bit. I kind of like the.
I guess, yeah. I love you, man. But
I mean, you're making me want to go to like Costco or Coachella, bro.
Yeah,
I know, like Walgreens, and buy some more to fill in the gray. You know, I don't know what to do for you. You'll be looking at the beard the rest of the show, I imagine. So get used to it.
But yeah, back to what we were talking about. I did see.
I don't remember.
We were on the Caitlin Clark thing with the salary and all that. The one thing I did see this morning actually is she did sell already more jerseys than all other WNBA jerseys in history combined.
Yeah, but you ready for this? She got that big Nike contract.
Yeah.
They already released a woman's shoe. So even though she's going to be given a contract with the right that they're going to design a shoe for, she's going to be the second one on the market. She screwed it in.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying that they got to do something to make her more attractive.
Pops, is there something wrong with Pops' audio, or is that just my end? Is that on my end, or is that on Pops' end?
Okay, well, yeah, it was kind of breaking up for me.
I hear.
So.
No, he was breaking up real good. Pops, you were breaking up real good. For me, it was hard for me to understand what you were saying.
Okay, I was saying that she's a attractive female, but she's going to learn makeup or something. I don't know what it is. I mean, they've got her in a glass suit, and you almost can't see her face. So anyway, she's a hell of a basketball player. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. I would love to do bets on how many she makes in a game. She's just a dead-eye. That's unreal. Anyway, back to what I'm doing, which is something different than what I'm doing now. In motorsport, there we go.
Now I'm starting to hear you a lot better.
Now I can hear you fine now.
Yeah. Yeah, you were breaking up again for a little bit.
The whole time
there,
you were talking about that lady in her makeup, I couldn't hear a word you're saying to Barry.
Yeah, but as soon as you switched to auto racing, now you come in fine.
That's how much that whole conversation I was giving you made. It was worth.
Right.
Sex is no good anyway. The thing I'm finding out is that I'm getting too old for racing.
I guess my whole thing is
what?
What's your whole thing, Keith?
My last thing.
What's your whole thing?
Clark thing was my whole thing is
I'm getting too old for racing.
They complain about the salary. They're complaining about the salary, but how's it possible that one person that's been in the league for drafted just this week, right, has already outsold everybody else's jerseys in the history?
Yeah,
in just a week. That's probably why your salary is so low, because there's no money in that league because nobody was buying anything. If people are buying stuff now, then maybe some of the players will actually get paid a little bit more in the future. But
you wait till they get the transgenders involved. When they get the transgenders involved, that's when this is all going to change, because you're going to actually have people dunking the ball. You're going to have some really fast offense. You're going to have some, dribble drive in the paint. You're going to have some action. You'll have some real action.
But that's not going to be until LeBron retires.
What's that?
It's not going to happen until LeBron retires and changes sex.
If LeBron retires and changes sex, he could dominate in 2 leagues. That'd be longevity. That'd be something else.
Well, he can get down on tiptoes and dunk. I mean, it's oh hell! How the hell did we get on basketball?
I don't know. He brought up the Caitlin Clark contract.
And that's what
went off on a tangent on it.
And then I tried to segue off into I'm getting too old. I just looked at a IMSA score sheet. IMSA is the International Motorsports Association. Anyway, and I only recognize 3 guys on the sheet. all my guys have retired. But
oh man,
I will say this: that Cadillac is still holding for. Can you believe that Cadillac is the dominant force in IMSA racing?
I didn't even realize Cadillac was in racing.
Oh no,
I don't pay attention that close.
Well, remember when Corvette was the big deal in IMSA racing? Those yellow Corvettes, they always had the yellow Corvettes. Well, anyway, Corvette got out of it, and GM said, well, what the heck? We got this hot deal, this Cadillac. We put a good motor in it, and it can do pretty good. Well, that's what they did, and now the Cadillacs beat everybody, including private entry of Corvette. So it's quite the deal. But the reason I brought that up is that Renger van de Sande was the lead driver in the Corvette. Now, I remember him, but I still can't remember. I always thought it was Van der Sander. But anyway, that's what's going on there. I'll find a way to get back into IMSA racing and do a better job of reporting. But anyway, Cadillac kicked everybody's butt out at Long Beach. The race last night, which was a 3:00 race in the morning, again, was won by Max Lance Norris in a McLaren. Remember that? McLaren, the team that didn't do any good at all? he got another podium. He finished second. Perez in the second Red Bull finished third. Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari finished fourth, and Carlos Sainz Jr. in the other Ferrari. So there you go. You got Red Bull, McLaren, Red Bull, Ferrari. The unusual thing is Lewis Hamilton is not anywhere near that. He's in the 9th position. What happened to I bet you he's in the 6th position. Anyway, the McLarens didn't have anywhere near the top 10. So that is unreal. Like I said, it's going to be 2026 when the new chassis, new motors come back to the floor, and you just don't know who's going to come out of that. Michael Andretti is getting real close to buying Alpine. Alpine was the team they were getting real close to buying last year, but it seems that that's the only way they're going to get in. The teams don't want to dilute the sport by paying out money to somebody that's not them.
Those Euros.
Anyway,
I have to say about
Andretti Global opened up a brand new building facility in England, and had the grand opening and all. So I mean, they've committed big bucks to get into Formula One. They're just not making any progress. Cadillac is still hanging with them and said, we'll be ready by 2026. The Andretti money is good and they're paying for the development. So we're going to continue doing our bit.
So Michael's going to buy that team and run it with a Cadillac engine, essentially GM engine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All
right. Hope we don't suck.
Well,
I want to show those Euros up, man. I want to show those Euros up.
Given the performance of Cadillac and IMSA, they're going to kick butt.
Yeah, they do have a good record in IMSA for sure.
So I mean, it's all. I don't know. The Michael Andretti deal is more exciting than the racing. So we'll just have to wait and see how it develops. I mean, they had everybody. I mean, stars. Everybody was at the opening in England when they developed their show.
So this is happening.
Yeah.
Good.
So
good.
Now we're moving on to the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach. And again, remember, all these races start at 3:00 this afternoon, with the exception of F1. Felix Rosenqvist won his very first pole for the award. Kicked everybody's butt by 6 tenths, hundreds, thousandths, 6,000ths of a second.
Whoa, that's close.
Over Will Power, Newgarden, Colton Herta, Marcus Ericsson, and Alex Palou. So there's a chance that's going to be an awesome race this afternoon. A lot of good guys are in it. We go over to the Xfinity Series in NASCAR, who had their race yesterday at 4:00. And James Love manages to bring home the win there. I believe that's his first win. Herbst was in second, Alfredo third. Honeyman. Now, how's that for a name? Honeyman.
Yeah, Honeyman. I like it.
Hey, we knew a Honeyman in the Marines.
That's the guy that takes care of the anyway. Yeah, he takes care of the pot. Anyway,
I guess.
that's what's going on with them. It was neat though. We had a good race going, and our buddy Mr. Meyer was in third place when he got knocked out of the race. So he either wins or gets knocked out of the race. He's got, I think, 5 DNFs, and each time he's been knocked out, he's been in the top 10. So it either wins or it gets crashed.
Hey.
All right. The Cup scene, which is coming up this afternoon. Did I mention it comes up at 3:00? Anyway,
yes.
Michael McDowell. This guy is picked by more knowledgeable racers than anybody I know, and he really doesn't have much of a sponsor. He just shows up and does his thing. Austin Cindric is in second. Todd Gilliland is in third. Kyle Busch and Austin Dillon round out the top 5. The one thing I can't find anywhere, and probably because my sheets are not screwed up, or they are screwed up, I can't see where Kyle is in the standings. I know he's going to race at Long Beach. Let me see what they're saying. NASCAR lineup. Nuts.
Can't find it.
Grid set for NASCAR. There we go. I don't see where Kyle is in the standings anywhere. He had a wonderful deal at Indy last week where he was second fast in an Indy car, which is pretty remarkable to say the least. But he's not listed. Oh, wow. For one reason or another, Kyle Larson did not qualify. He's just getting put on the end of the lineup. So he's going to start 38th at Talladega. The nice part about that is that Talladega is a crapshoot.
Sure.
And so anyone can win. But I don't understand. I mean, unless he blew up in qualifying, I don't know why he would not. I'll have to look that up. But anyway, Larson is doing his strange deal. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. He finds ways to get things done. I think the Grand Prix of Long Beach is going to be exciting. It's a very, very tight course.
Yep.
It's really difficult to pass. So you look for at least somebody in the top 5 to be able to bring it home, unless there's a bunch of yellows. Now, Long Beach, believe it or not, has had numerous races running caution free. So that is something to look forward to this afternoon. And if you got multi-screen TV, you just put the NASCAR race in the small box, and the big box is the IndyCar race, because the IndyCar race is going to be more exciting than the NASCAR race.
Oh, for sure.
But it's interesting. The IMCA, NASCAR, whatever you want to say, amateur league drivers raced on Saturday morning, and they did it without a big one. And Nextel ran last night and didn't have a big one. They had plenty of crashes, but they didn't have one that wiped out half the field.
Right.
So we're waiting for the big one, which will undoubtedly occur when the Nextel
big
Cup,
boys. Yeah.
the big boys get there. Can you believe, if you're a team owner, you basically have to just allot $100,000 a year for the Daytona race, the second Daytona race.
You're losing 2 cars,
races.
2-3 cars easy a year. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can't believe they still, although it undoubtedly excites the fans, but
yes,
that's just not racing.
No, it's not.
You wipe out half the crew. I mean, like I said, the Mayer got wiped out. He was in the top 2 when the crash started, and that wiped him out. It's a crapshoot. You just don't know what's going to happen. But for one reason or another, we all watch because we want to see the big one, I guess.
I guess.
I mean, they sell the joint out. Talladega is sold out again. So we'll just
would you like to see Max Verstappen do the China circuit? I would like to see Max Verstappen do the China circuit. Oh, absolutely. Let's do it.
Go get him, Max. This is a pretty neat track, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, that like damn near a 270-degree turn.
Yeah.
Followed up by a 90. It's got some real skill to it. I just wish all those red and white things were walls.
I know.
Because then you find out who has balls. This
True.
Just expanding the track is nuts.
There'd be a whole lot of death involved, I believe, in these cars. I'm just guessing.
Well, yeah, and they would be junking an awful lot of cars.
Because I'm sure a lot of these guys got balls.
Yeah, I think they do too. But it's amazing that the number of them that have had the opportunity to come race IndyCar won't because they don't like walls.
No. I'm. You know way more about these guys than I do, Pops, and I get it, but man, that guy would have smashed his car up so bad he'd be dead by now for sure.
Yeah,
the first time he did that little.
Oh, all right.
Well,
anything else, Pops?
No, I just think that we got to get walls.
Down with Trump. I'm down with Trump.
Oh God, here we go.
I'm for walls. Again. That's all I'm saying. I got.
All right, Pook. What do you got for us,
man? Big on wall.
Yeah, look at that. Pook has got his own backyard wall.
Got the walls. Yeah,
he does.
I'm big on walls. So I don't have an hour for you, Minnie, like I did last week. Nope. I got a little bit of boxing news. The PFL went last night. Not sure what happened in that nonsense. If T wants to catch us up on the PFL news, he can. If he wants to catch us up on some overseas news with ONE FC, he can as well. But last night, if you're a U.S. American for the most part and you're a combat sports fan, all eyes were on Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. Leading up to this fight, Ryan Garcia legit has been batshit crazy, like legitimately batshit crazy. I don't know. See, I sent you a bunch of shorts, and I'm trying to keep it like anything that we put up, keep the show moving, keep it under like a minute or two, right? 30 seconds is a good short to send you. A guy getting knocked on his ass, something like that. Well,
I got when
you
one,
look up
King Ryan. I got one. You want me to play that one?
Yeah, we can, but before we play that, let me please. I want to play it. I want to play it really soon, but I wanted to explain. I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the batshit crazy things that Ryan Garcia has been saying leading up into this fight, and his antics up into this fight, and the fact that you saw he was a 4-1 underdog, and I'm going to explain why he was such an underdog. All right, so about a month ago, right, he gets on a podcast with Andrew Tate, and even before this, there's rumblings of him talking like on his own Twitter feed. He gets on a podcast and Andrew Tate and starts talking about the Illuminati and how he was taken to the Bohemian Grove and how he was tied down and he was made to watch child sex sacrifices and things of this nature, and just this wild stuff, this unbelievable. And he has no receipts. He's got no real proof. And he was that's out there. I'm not saying that stuff doesn't go on, but the fact that he'd be like kidnapped, dragged out there, tied down, made to watch this stuff, if you don't have any kind of proof, that's just even for a conspiracy theory quack like the Pook, that's just freaking, it's too much. It's incredible. I don't believe it. But this has been going on. He has been alleged to have drug and alcohol problems, big time cocaine problems. He'd be up all night. After being up all night, he'd tweet out crazy stuff, like stuff he should be doing. He's like sitting in a hotel room at like 6 a.m. in the morning, looking coked out of his mind, signing an agreement on a Bible, talking about how he's going to start training 5 days a week and only drinking wine on Wednesdays and Sundays and not smoking anymore, not smoking any kind of weed or any tobacco and all this crazy stuff. That stuff you should already be doing, bro. You shouldn't be in the middle of your camp freaking making a pact with your buddy to stay off of freaking drugs and alcohol when you're right in the middle of a training camp, you know, to fight in a fight where you're going to make $15 million. That shouldn't be going on. So this is why this guy was such an underdog. So dude shows up, misses weight by freaking 3 pounds, 3.2 pounds. His agreement, and it was in writing, his agreement was, and it was a handshake, and it was also in writing, his agreement was, if every pound he was over, and then the fraction as well, he's going to have to pay Devin Haney $500,000. So 3.2 pounds ended up being $2 million. 500,000 for every freaking pound plus the 0.2 he got dinged 500,000. So now that sets us up. We can start playing the clips. Now we can start playing the clips. See, all that stuff that I talked about to set these clips up, I wanted to have quotes of him saying this actual nonsense so I could show everybody and they could see the words coming out of his mouth. But I'm looking at these videos, and all the videos I found where he's saying the batshit crazy rants and stuff, they're like 10, 15 minutes long. You know what I mean?
So I don't have any of those. I have this.
No, I didn't send you any of those. I didn't send you any of those.
What the fuck? Oh, no, ya lo dio. He's out, knocked out. Woo! Oh, lo dio. Get up, yeah, fuck him up. Yeah, fuck him up. Hell yeah, Ryan. Fuck yeah. Woo! God did, Ryan.
All right, play.
God did.
What?
Go ahead and play the next one.
I don't know if I have a next
one.
one.
I don't know who he had.
You should.
I don't know who he had doing commentary there.
She definitely was professional.
I figure
her name was.
Here's the deal. If I pull freaking,
that's all I have.
Clip off of ESPN, right?
Yeah, we get dinged.
We're definitely If I pull a clip off of someone's Twitter page that's going to show us the exact same thing, but maybe we're going to have a screaming girl in the background. Hey, let's not get dinged, I say.
Yeah, no, I get it.
So the guy shows up. So he's batshit crazy. He's talking about Jesus all the time while he's going on these alleged alcohol and cocaine fueled marijuana binges right in the middle of his fight camp, and then he gets on the air, and when he's not talking about children being raped and things of that nature, he's talking about Jesus
and all that.
Yeah, he's talking about child sex trafficking. He's just talking. It looked like the guy was spinning to me. If I didn't know better, I'd say the guy was on meth. Being around people who've been on meth in the past, I think that the guy was on meth, but I don't know. I can't say that. Definitely coked up for sure.
This is a Ryan Garcia clip that I have for it that you sent me. So.
Look, here we go. Right here.
Remember, he's a 4-1 dog. He missed weight. He's been abusing out drugs and alcohol, allegedly.
Yeah, Brian.
This is pretty impressive, man. What he was able to do. He had no respect for Devin Haney. He just went right at him. He knocked him down. He knocked him down probably 7 times. They only counted 3 of them because Devin Haney, when he's going down, he'd hug his leg, and the ref was protecting him. Not only did Ryan Garcia have to fight the refs in this, he had to fight the ref in this. Okay, he had to fight Devin Haney. He had to fight the ref, and he had to fight the freaking judges because one of the judges scored this a freaking draw or for Haney or something. It was he had like a draw scorecard. It's like how do you get dominated like that? And there's a draw. I mean, it's boxing, man. A lot of pedestrian rounds in boxing because you got 12 rounds. A lot of rounds they're walking through, and you can steal a round at the end. So there's a lot up to the judge's interpretation. But when you get dominated like that, when you get freaking put on your ass like that so many times in a prize fight, how can it be a draw? How can it be a draw? These people were lined up against Ryan Garcia. I love it. I love this guy. This is some good stuff right here.
World title challenger and champion. First up,
right here.
Victorville, California, 24-1.
Anyone from
20 knockouts to his credit. The former WBC interim lightweight world champion. Please welcome King Ryan Garcia. And his opponent. Well, Ryan wants to weigh in right now.
This is before the fight. Now you understand why I love this guy.
143.2 official weight for Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, that's a Wisconsin move right there.
That's a Wisconsin
move. Even though he's from Victorville.
And one of his, that was what he kept saying too. He's like, "Hold my beer, watch this, watch what I'm doing."
Yeah,
literally, hold my beer, homie.
Oh wow.
Too much. That's the thing. The whole reason, honestly, besides the fact that I've already been taking up a lot of time with my segments because there's been so much going on in UFC, and it's been taking up so much of so much time on the show and everything. I really didn't want to unpack this Ryan Garcia stuff, but I've been forced to unpack it now after what happened.
Oh, no worries, man.
No, this is so. But while this was going on, it's been so interesting. I've literally been glued to my phone a couple of times listening to some of the stuff that Ryan Garcia had to say, throughout this. So he's classic. He's classic. The guy's classic, man. The guy's definitely classic.
I love it.
And now he holds the keys to the yard, and now he's calling the shots. And in his last fight prior to this, he got made a monkey out of, and he had a real problem with this. I wouldn't be surprised if he missed weight intentionally and he paid the fine and he didn't even care because the last fight he almost killed himself making weight, and he freaking got hit with a body shot that ended the fight, and it looked like he just didn't want to get up. He didn't want to continue, but he knew he was too weak.
Yeah,
he even said he knew he was too weak going into that fight against Tank Davis. So they're going to try to reset that. They're going to try to fight Tank Davis again right now. They're going to fight him at a catch. They're going to fight him with their rules. So we're going to see what happens with Ryan Garcia. He's the king right now. He's a king. He's resurrecting boxing right now, man. Boxing was dead.
Yeah, boxing needs personality.
Boxing was dead.
For sure it does.
Hey,
Absolutely.
here's the thing, and this is a crazy thing. So I'm, I love the sports bet. You guys know I love the sports bet, and I love a good live dog. I love a good live dog. So leading up to this, about a month ago, maybe before he completely went off the rails, I made a bet with Ngannou, parlayed with Ryan Garcia, right? And so after Ngannou got knocked out, I always planned on betting Ryan Garcia up until this week. Up until this week, I decided I got off of him, and I got off of him because dude missed weight. Not only did he miss weight, he was guaranteed $15 million in his contract. I'm like, is this guy freaking just batshit crazy, and is he mailing it in? He's making a spectacle? Well, he showed the pook. He showed me for doubting him. I love the guy from the jump street. I love the guy the whole time. I love the guy throughout his crazy antics and everything. But I didn't put my money where my mouth was last night. I was so happy when he came out in the first round and he was freaking dominating Haney, because I was watching it in the break room on my phone. I was so happy. I couldn't put a bet down because they blocked me. I'm working at a casino, so I can't put a bet down out of my phone. It's blocked. It's like it'll give me a message saying, because they need to see your location. So if you're somewhere where they have competition, they block you out. Well, not just competition. They got different laws because it's obviously an Indian reservation. But so I couldn't put a bet down. But man, when I saw him dominating Haney in that first round, oh my God, I was so happy. I was like a kid on Christmas, man. I was so happy. I was like, oh, that's my dog. That's my dog. He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. I told another guy that's a fight fan in the break room, he's gonna do it. And he's like, nah. He's gonna slow down. Haney's gonna get him. He's gonna slow down. He can't keep up this pace. He didn't have a training camp. I'm like, okay, man, he's gonna do it, man. He did it. He did it. So this is the time, right, when we talk about what's next in the UFC, right? So I'm like looking at Shirt. I'm like looking at Sherdog. I'm looking up these fights, man. And this UFC 301 card. This UFC 301 card, I really don't recognize too many names on it, man. I mean, the old roosters you recognize, like the main event. The main event is Alexandria Pandroya, and we got Steve Erzgig. I've seen Alexander Pandroya fight. I've seen him fight. The Steve guy, I don't even know who he is. I'll be honest, man. And if you say, "Hey, Pook, how can you call yourself an MMA expert and not know who this guy is?" Well, I'm an amateur, man. I'll admit it. I'll admit when I don't know something. I really don't recognize a lot of names on these cards, man. I mean, we got the old dogs. We got Jose Aldo's going to be on this card. We got Andy Smith's going to be on this card. Looks like he's going to be on this card with a full training camp. That's going to be interesting. If he's close to even money in this, I might play Anthony Smith. It might be his last fight if he loses this one. It might be his last fight. It just might be. Maybe he'll go to commentating full time if he loses this fight. I think he's got a good chance of winning this fight just because he's going to have a full training camp. The thing with Anthony Smith is he always takes these fights on freaking short notice, man. And he bings, and when he does it, that things up your win-loss record. It really does. I mean, I swear it does.
True.
So Paul Craig's going to be on this card. Yeah, I don't recognize. I don't even want to try to pronounce some of these names. I don't recognize a lot of these guys. We got Alessandro Costa. I wonder if he's any relation to Paul Costa. Maybe not. Who knows? He's Brazilian, probably a very common name.
Yeah,
but that's our UFC. That's our UFC 300, man. And now 301. Or 301, I mean. That's our UFC 301. Now, 302 gets a little bit better. We're going to have Poirier. We're going to have Poirier on that card. So Dustin Poirier is going to be fighting on that card.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look, but I think probably after the big, like the 100, the centennial events, I think usually the one after that, usually you don't get as good of names coming up because you throw so much into those.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? You threw everyone. You threw the kitchen sink at UFC 300, and if Dana White, if Duplessis is this freaking scumbag, bro, because he shows up for these fights he shows up for these fights at UFC 300, and he couldn't show up to fight Adesanya. And if he would have been the co-main event or the main event with that Adesanya, it definitely would have been the main event. And they would have made the Hill fight, the Hill Pereira fight, underneath that fight. But they probably both would have. They're both championship fights. Would have been 5 rounds. Would have made that card, bar none, the most spectacular card on paper, as far as viewing it, the best UFC card ever. Would have definitely made it the best UFC card. And Blissy just didn't want to cooperate with Dana. You know, you gotta. I don't know, man. The guy's got the belt. You know, he's calling the shots, but it's kind of funny, man, if you don't cooperate with Dana, what ends up happening to you. The only one that seems to get away with those kind of shenanigans in the long run is Conor. And it seems like maybe Conor's being jammed up a little bit by the UFC now. Maybe Dana would like to see this guy go away. Maybe that's why they can't freaking iron out a deal. They'll eventually iron out a deal, I imagine, with Chandler. I'm definitely betting on Chandler, though, when it happens. I don't know what you have to say. But Islam Makhachev is going to be fighting Dustin Poirier in UFC 302, 301 is kind of not a card that – I'm not going to say it's a trash card. We're not going to do that. Who knows? It might be a really good card. I don't think I want to pay money to see that card. I don't recognize any of the names, you know. Sean Strickland's going to be fighting Paulo Costa on the undercard, and we're going to have Nico Price going to be on this card along with Cesar Almeida. Mickey Gall's going to be fighting on this card. Grant Dawson. Some guys we know from the Apex, from watching Apex. If you watch the Apex, there's some guys on here that you're going to recognize on this card. And the main event's going to be awesome, and we're going to see main event's going to be awesome because Dustin Poirier is going to be in it. We know we're going to see a fight for sure. And then we're also Sean Strickland is going to be fighting Paulo Costa, and we'll see a fight in that fight as well. Paulo Costa is a fun guy to watch. Sean Strickland's a fun guy to watch. So we'll definitely be tuning in for that, but that's not till June.
Pookie, you buy me 5 minutes?
Buy you 5 minutes. What can we talk about the Kentucky Derby? Because I'm about out of MMA.
Go for it. All of it. Go for it.
You guys want to talk about the Kentucky Derby?
And let's put some money on it.
Sure. Also, with MMA, there was another one event.
Go ahead. Let's see.
There was another one event that's on YouTube. I haven't finished it yet, though. But if you like knockouts, this one's a fun one to watch. So it just streamed 2 days ago, but you can go back and watch the replay of it on YouTube. First fight right out of the gate was a 26-second knockout. There's actually on this card, there was actually only 2 actual MMA fights, and the rest of it's Muay Thai. And I don't know, I kind of, you get your fill of watching MMA with following the UFC stuff. So I like watching one just because of the Muay Thai fights sometimes. Those Muay Thai fights are really fun to watch. Those guys
always wanted to go.
Those guys bang. Those guys bang.
I've always wanted to go to Thailand and to watch the Muay Thai fights.
Yeah. They got an event actually coming up. I think it's going to be a pretty Muay Thai dominant card coming to Colorado this summer. Stamp Fairtex is supposed to be the headliner on that. The women's champion at strawweight, I think. So that'd be a fun event to go. Muay Thai? Muay Thai is kickboxing with elbows and knees. Yeah.
The Thai version, the Thai rules.
Yeah, anyway,
made popular.
Work the elbows and knees.
Yeah, it was made popular by Bloodsport, Jean-Claude Van Damme. I've been wanting to go to Thailand ever since I watched that when I was a kid.
Yeah, and the fights on Friday were in what's this? The fights were from Bangkok, Thailand. I forget the name of the arena though. That they were in, but yeah, it was a good event. At least up until I've watched, I still got about 6 Muay Thai fights to get through on that card though. But yeah, it's fun to watch. So if you're bored, I'd suggest going over to One's YouTube page. You can watch the whole event from their YouTube page. They also have events they put on Prime. They kind of alternate between Prime and YouTube. But But yeah, it was a fun one.
But it is on YouTube, huh?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. I can I can
maybe-
put the link. I can put the link in the chat here too.
Well,
Maybe
I'm
it
on
might do
YouTube.
me some good to watch these fights instead of what's going on with Israel and Iran all the time. That might be a
Right.
good idea for me.
Yeah, Muay Thai's fun.
What is this? This is a war with nobody getting hurt. I don't know how
Yeah,
you do that.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on right now. Yeah, everything's being telegraphed. It's kind of weird. But we're talking sports
Yeah,
on
it
this
is
show,
weird.
not
Oh yeah.
we can talk that on the bar.
Oh yeah. Well, wait till I get on the bar, homie.
Yeah, exactly.
Get a
That's
load of
where we
meat.
get to have some
Oh,
fun with that
man.
stuff. Maybe we got to go back to Saturdays at some point because would that work better for you to get on?
Nah, man.
No, oh, I
Yeah,
don't know.
no way. Saturday nights I'm working, man. I'm a crap stealer, man. Saturday nights I'm working. Friday nights I want to work. I actually want to work. Those are the nights I want to show up for work. The nights I don't want to show
Friday
up for
and
work.
Saturday
are like
night usually be great nights for gambling.
I make money. I want to go to work. I want to go to work on Friday, Saturday. I don't want to take the day off. I really don't. But a weekday, hell yeah. Any weekday, I love to take the day off.
They don't have any. You don't get any veteran gamblers on during the week.
Sometimes, man, veterans, man, you get some guys that been vets, man. You know, it's a mixed bag, man. Gamblers are a mixed bag. You've seen it, I'm sure. You'll be at a blackjack table and there'll be a freaking biker, a freaking inner city gang member, and somebody's grandmother sitting at the same table, all high-fiving one another. I mean, that's how it is. That's gambling's pretty diverse. You know, there's certain games that are attract certain ethnic groups. I mean, that's to say that's not true, you'd just be denying the obvious. Like Baccarat's very much so. A lot of Asians like to play Baccarat. That is their game for sure, you know. And then blackjack, obviously a mixed bag of people, man. You know, you all walks of life. You get a guy. I've dealt to guys that were telling me that they were you know, going away for 10 years on a federal criminal sentence, you know, and then they're literally sitting right next to somebody's grandmother and everyone's getting along fine, you know, having drinks, you know, it's mixed bag of folks. It really is. Gamblers, you don't know who a gambler is too, because you can't smell the cards on their breath. You know what I mean? So it's a little different, you know. Not everyone that gambles has a problem. You know, a lot of people come in once in a while, but you know, the odds aren't in your favor, and the more you go, the more it becomes a problem for you.
I was 3,000 in the hole in the first 9 months when I was driving for Schneider, and it got so bad. We would get to the casino and park the truck. And I'd go and lay down in the back and hand $100 to my partner and say, I don't have the energy to lose this. Go do it for me. Because
the old Griswold. I'll meet you in the parking lot. I'll kick you in the balls. You give me half the money. We'll call it even.
Oh, it was wild. But then I switched. I switched to Caesars, I think, and got in a 7-card stud game and got whole again. So that was wild.
Oh, good. I'm good you got your money back, man. I'll tell you what, I got some stories about people losing everything for sure. But the one story I got that sticks out more than the people losing everything and literally blowing their brains out is the guy got like $150,000 in the hole. He lost like half of his 401k money he cashed out. He had a job waiting for him in Texas. And so he freaking cashes out half of his 401k, right? Or his whole 401k, loses half of it.
Yeah.
I look at the guy in the eyeballs because I got to know this guy because I see him every day, right? So I seen him every day for a while. I know his situation. I looked him in the eyeballs and I said, man, you're not going to get even here. You're only going to get even worse. You need to quit. You need to take your job in Texas. You need to quit playing blackjack. And you need to go to Texas and take that job before you don't have it. He was putting him off this whole time. This whole time he was losing this money, he had a job as a school principal waiting for him, right? in Texas.
Yeah.
Right now, he's a gym teacher in Chula Vista, right? But he was on leave from that job, and he bought an RV. He cashed out his 401k, got an RV, and he was going to drive his whole family to Texas. Well, in the meantime, he got stuck $150,000. So I'm telling this guy, you can't go and get this back. That ain't how this works. Well, he proved me wrong, and I never seen him again. He won all of his money back, every last penny. And not only did he win all of his money back, I never seen his face again. He got the job back at Chula Vista. He lost a job in Texas. He lost that opportunity. Yeah. Out of all this, that's the worst thing that happened to him. He just lost the opportunity in Texas, but he won all of his money back, man. So I never told anyone that again. But up until that point, I've only seen it go the other way. I've seen people degenerate to the point where they lose their marriage, they lose their business, they lose their wife. You know, they lose their home. They lose everything. They end up losing everything. They end up going in the hole so bad. But, I mean, you can't dig yourself out of the hole. Pops proved it, and this guy proved it, man.
All right, let's talk a little baseball, yeah? All right,
wait a minute. I won $7,000 and lost it to John. That's when I bought your Firebird.
The Firebird,
the Trans Am. Was it Trans Am? I don't remember. But anyway, that
thing was fast.
He messed up his car, and I had come away. The table was $7,000 winner, and ended up giving it to some dude in Milwaukee to get him a car.
Yep. I don't know what you were thinking, but it is what it is. It's getting the
that was a new car, wasn't it?
What's that?
It was sick. It was sick. I got to drive that thing when Minnie got into DUI trouble back in the day.
Yeah.
And
I got to drive it. You don't want to talk about that, Minnie? All right, Minnie,
sure,
we don't have to talk about it. I used to drive him to work. One day when I was driving him to work, he thought I was playing chicken with him, but I was dead asleep in the next lane. I was going to hit a 5-ton. And he didn't wake me up until the very last fraction of the second.
I slapped him in the shoulder like, "Book!" And he's like, and
I was out cold. I was literally driving out cold. I was out cold. I woke up. I didn't even know where I was at. I'm like,
you guys, your apartment wasn't that far from Polgus.
No, but Pook was living in San Diego.
I had a wife.
Coming to pick me up in Oceanside and then coming to Camp Pendleton all the way to Las Pulgas. So yeah, it was a bit of a drive, man.
Yeah, that's a drive. Yep.
No, but it was.
I wish when we had range, we had to be. I had known Pook when I was still driving. I mean, now this is how crazy it was. I would go out with John and what was his name?
Tatum.
The dude that would walk around the barracks with a RC Cola can filled with, what did he drink? I can't remember.
Some kind of fucking dark liquor,
anyway, it was
whiskey, I'm sure.
And he's just openly just walking around with it.
Oh, that guy was out of his mind. He was completely out of his mind, man.
He was completely out of his mind.
He's out of his
Talking about out of his mind, baseball. Let's go over standings real quick. Pook, you'd be super happy about this in the AL East. Guess who's on top?
No.
The Yankees.
Really?
The Yankees, 14-7. Orioles right behind them. Blue Jays, 12-9. Tampa Bay Devil Rays, 12-10. Boston Red Sox are kind of 12-10, but everybody's over 500. In the Central, not so much. Cleveland Guardians are shocking everybody. 15-6, just rolling with a plus 48 run differential. Insane. And the Kansas City Royals, who the shit saw that coming? I mean, it's early in the year, but they might be playing the Pittsburgh Pirates role of 2023.
Right.
Just coming out of the gate and they're going to collapse. But they still have a plus 43 run differential. To the west, the Texas Rangers, Seattle Mariners tied up at 11-11 or 10-10. They're both 500. The Rangers do have a plus 8 run differential. Good news for them. Max Scherzer is about to start his rehab. And shortly after that, Jacob deGrom will also be starting his rehab. So, if the Rangers can stay on top or in striking distance, once they get both those guys back, it's good night, Eileen, I think. I mean, I don't know. Oakland Athletics, I love you boys. Soon to be the Sacramento Athletics, and then eventually the Las Vegas Athletics. They're 8-13. The Braves, despite losing Spencer Strider, are 14-5. Philadelphia Phillies 13-8. The Mets, who could compete this year, are 12-8. To the Central, the Milwaukee Brewers are rolling 13-6. Cubs right behind them, only one game back at 13-8. Reds are very exciting team to watch, actually. Their pitching is atrocious, but man, can they hit. They hit like it's going out of style. Pittsburgh Pirates hanging in there, only 3 games back, 11-10. Everybody's waiting for Paul Skeens, aka Olivia Dunn's boyfriend, to start. He's had 3 AAA starts, hasn't given up a run, and just been embarrassing the hitters. But I kind of get Pittsburgh's theory on this. Like, we don't want to run him out there and do a Mark Pryor thing, and just because he will pitch a great year and then his arm will be toast. So they want to kind of work that arm up a little bit. In the West, the Dodgers barely hang on, 1-game lead. The Evil Empire, who signed everybody, is only 1 game ahead of the San Diego Padres, which is great. I love this. People are trying to talk about this not being a rivalry. It is a rivalry. I think it's a rivalry. They had a bench and clear brawl the other day, so that's good. It's always fun. The Giants, still hanging in there. The Diamondbacks, who were in the World Series last year, only a game and a half back too as well. Just got Jordan Montgomery getting ready for him to start throwing on a regular basis because he had an interrupted spring training. And here's some fun stuff. Watching the Cubs game last night. Pook, you were at a Cubs game the other day, weren't you?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun.
It did go well for the Cubbies, though, right? They lost.
No, it went really good for the Cubs. It went really good for Pook's wallet too, Playboy. Yeah, we
did it. All right.
Yeah,
it's
Monday. I went to the Monday game, bro. We took 2 out of 3, bro. What makes you think I went to the game we lost at, bro?
I don't know. I don't know why I did, but here's the thing. Back at Wrigley, this is just funny. This is part of the reason I love baseball. This came from Sarah Langs. Make sure you follow her on Twitter at Sarah Langs Sports. She's my girl. That's what the baseball is best shirt is all about. All the money that comes from that goes to ALS research, which is a killer. Sarah Langs has ALS, and she's still crushing it. And if I could figure out a time, and somehow I'd love to get her on, because she is just a sweetheart and just an absolute nugget magnet for baseball. But she put this up on her Twitter. I was watching it live with my wife. It's pretty awesome.
The players take me through that play. So what did you see off the bat?
So I heard the crack of the bat. Sorry. And I'm just looking up. I'm like tracking the ball down, and then I see it coming closer and closer. And then I see somebody grab up, and I just put my hand behind it, and it was kind of like a coach throwing the ball at you in practice. So I'm just like, give me, and I got it.
So when you catch it, you take us through your reaction too, because you're so excited.
So I caught it, and I'm like, oh my God, there's no way I just caught that. And then I'm yelling, I'm gonna go Glover, and then people were telling me, look up, and I look up and I see me. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go Glover, just pounding my chest.
You have to get some gold for that glove. You have to tell me you are now a lifelong Cubs fan, in part because you caught this ball, but also explain the history. You live in Milwaukee, but you changed to a Cubs fan because
of Craig Counsell, and also because of my family, and also during that 2016 World Series run, everyone in my family was just like, oh yeah, Rizzo, you have the same first name as Anthony Rizzo. I'm like, oh yeah. And then they just and then Game 7, I was cheering for the Indians, And then I was cheering for the Cubs. I was just all over the place, but definitely.
You picked right, Anthony. And you went through, okay, give me your top 5 players on the Cubs.
Number 1 has to be Ian Happ. Love what he does. Number 2, Christopher Morel. Number 3, Dansby Swanson. Number 4, Cody Bellinger. And number 5, Shota Umaga.
So yeah, and so this is your first time seeing Shota. What do you like about Shota?
He's a lefty. That's pretty cool. His pitches are great. They're one of the kind of early saying as well. One of the best pitches in the game is pitchers in the game. I think he'll be really good though. But
you have really good analysis. So this was your first game of the year. About how many Cubs games do you come to usually?
About maybe I'd say 4 a year. Just because I live in Milwaukee, but when I was living here in Chicago, at least 6.
and that's an average Cubbies fan. That's the amazing part. They are so damn knowledgeable. It's unreal.
Oh yeah, the kid was great. I loved it. He was eating it up. We were watching it live, me and the wife, and it was just so funny. And I was like, oh, somebody puts this up there, and sure enough, Sarah Langs did.
Now you know what it came to mind? Remember the dude that screwed up and caught the fair ball? No, it was a foul ball, but it was.
Bartman.
Yeah.
Steve Bartman.
Yeah. I was there.
I saw that and I go, oh shit! Here's the man in the making.
Yeah.
Everybody knew we were gonna lose when that happened. Like the crowd, everybody.
It was over.
Everyone. I was outside the stadium. I was on Waveland Avenue selling T-shirts. It's like ever since that happened, everyone was like, "Oh, we got Woody going tomorrow. Don't worry, we're good. We got Woody going tomorrow." They just already like knew that game was over, and the Cubs were still freaking up, like 3 runs, I think, when that happened.
Yeah, it was bad.
But it was just a cloud. It was like a cloud of gloom just came over Wrigley, bro. It was crazy. It was almost supernatural.
On into the windup in his first offering. Josh. The pitch. Oh shit. Vaughn in the
What's the better call? Just a bit outside. Shit.
Where's our video of our favorite umpire?
I got it. Hold on. It's coming. I gotta find it though, real quick. It's
Twitter's just been shitting on Angel Hernandez all week, and deservedly so.
It's bad.
I guess it's X now, not Twitter. But yeah.
Let's
and then I forgot one hockey story. You brought up Wrigley Field. They did announce that Wrigley Field is going to be hosting the Winter Classic this year.
Yeah, December 31st, right?
New Year's Eve, yep. So yeah, Wrigley Field's getting some hockey too.
Here is this. You sent this to me. Did we do this last week or not? I don't know.
Where he had threw the guy out on 3 balls.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
But that's our man.
That's Angel Hernandez right there. I do have something from Ken Rosenthal. If I can find it real quick, they're talking about Angel Hernandez. It's a little bit it's a little disturbing how he says it, but whatever, I'll do it anyways. Fuck it. As soon as I find it. Bill Belichick. No, that's not it. Oh, there we go. All right. So this is Ken Rosenthal, pretty established MLB journalist, and this is what he has to say about Angel Hernandez, which is fucking terrifying.
And said to him, "Hey, where is your line? Why aren't you guys embarrassed?"
What is that?
And I know to a certain degree, umpires are going to close ranks, but I thought this was so exceptional, and not in a good way, that maybe I would get a reaction. This umpire did not go there. He said, frankly, We all make mistakes. The scrutiny on Angel is too much. He didn't excuse Friday. He agreed that it was not good at all, what happened in that at-bat with Wyatt Langford. But he said, and this surprised me, the umpires love Angel Hernandez. They think he is just a quality human being, a great guy. I don't want people hanging up and turning off their computers right now while watching.
I fucking want to.
This is how they feel about him.
Listen, I liked Angel as a guy too. Angel, when you see him, is the nicest guy. Hey, brother, how are you? You know, the nicest guy in the world. And then he messes up, and you're like, Angel, like you kind of miss that one. He's like, yeah, I know, but it's okay. It's only 1 strike out of 3. And you're like, no, dude, like this is my at bat you're taking out of my hands. And I agree, Angel's a nice guy. And I've talked to Angel off the field now, especially doing our job. You run into the umpires, nice conversations with them. But at the end of the day, I mean, I'm judged on my performance. It is. I'm judged on my performance. He should be judged on his, and all these guys should be. And
I totally agree, AJ.
I don't know.
Trying to excuse anything, okay? I'm just saying the reaction I got was not the reaction I expected when I contacted that particular.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
And
he
that might
had
be a nice
to
guy,
make
but
it
he's
baseball 2 times.
bad at his job.
He's terrible at his job. He's not bad. He's terrible. He sucks. He is. If you look up all the references, he is the worst umpire in Major League Baseball.
Well, he's got the worst statistics. That's
yes.
for sure.
So why is he still employed?
Well, that's because you got such a good commissioner.
Unions.
Don't even get me started on that motherfucker. That buck-toothed cunt.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I hate that motherfucker.
Hey, what's Bud Selig doing nowadays? Is he working with the Brewers or what's he doing?
He's just fucking trying not to die. He's so fucking old. I don't give a shit what Bud Selig's doing. I could give 2 fucks. Like,
well, come on. Hey, he was one of your neighbors, for God's sake. Lived there in Milwaukee.
He was one of my neighbors, and he still sucks.
I mean, he won the worst. He won the worst commissioner, dude. He won one of the worst.
He wasn't the worst. No. Rob Manfred is the worst commissioner in the MLB.
Man, Roger Goodell takes it, man. He takes it as being the worst, man. He's the worst, bro. He ain't the worst. He ain't the worst. I mean, look what we had under Selig, man. We had freaking some good times, man. He let the Wild West go on for a long time. We had some good. I mean, we did have strikes and shit, but I mean, we really had that freaking, you know, would the Bass Brothers have been the Bass Brothers and Sammy Sosa been Sammy Sosa if it wasn't for Bud Selig letting stuff slide? I mean, I don't know, bro.
Yeah, probably not.
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like the argument. It's kind of like the argument a lot of people make about Bill Clinton, and
here we go.
I really can't argue with him much. You know, I'm just saying, everybody was making money when Bill Clinton was in office.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're a Democrat, you're a Republican, whatever, the guy's a rapist and a pedophile and whatever. But, you know, hey, everybody's making money, you know. I'm just saying.
On that note, final thoughts.
I think I just had mine.
I think you did. Hey, remember never take a permanent solution to a temporary problem. There's plenty of resources out there. Been there, done that. Got the members only jacket. I know it sucks. I know the chronic pain and the depression and everything is brutal, but you know, my best advice is just treat it like boot camp, man. Just get to chow in the morning, get to chow at lunch, get to chow in the evening, and just keep pushing through the day because you are all extremely valuable and precious. So please hang in there and reach out when you need to. There are plenty of resources out there if you decide to do that. So without further ado, Pterodactyl, final thoughts.
Well, for the rest of you guys, I did send the those Muay Thai fights I was talking to in our sports church and the phone chats. So you can check those out later. I don't know. I've just been really getting into them lately. I like some of the stories behind them. None of these guys make a lot of money, so it's fun to watch them. Other than that, good seeing everybody again. Yeah, we got to figure out a way of getting Pook on the bar sometime. That we got to work a schedule out on that because
dude,
that'll be a fun episode.
The more time goes on,
you got a year to give up because once you get food going, he ain't gonna stop.
But the more time goes on, and Minnie can vouch for this though. The more time goes on, the more relevant my nonsense becomes, and the more it's a fact. Is it not?
Is
that not a fact?
Some of it, yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Some of it.
Some of it.
You lunatic.
Yeah.
I love you.
Hopefully, a couple other people that we're trying to get on in the future too. So yeah. Tune in, see what's in store, and take care out there.
All right, Pops, with your camera all the way up, looking at your ceiling.
I'm watching a YouTube of umpires throwing out the pitcher, a coach, and the manager.
But you know my feelings on umpires, but
oh well, it's amazing. Anyway, the thoughts against umpires. They have to, the home plate umpire has to make more decisions and probably an inning that the rest of the umpires do all day. So
yeah. So you should be good at your fucking job.
Yeah, I just think that the way they call balls and strikes, or at least put the box up.
Yeah,
I don't think the box is the appropriate size because it's the same size for every hitter.
Yeah, and, you got a point there.
That's got to be changed. So, but anyway, it's far. This is funny. I'm watching all these guys get tossed out, and the umpire just standing there pointing to the outside of the field. He's not arguing at all. He's just get out.
I never got thrown out of a game ever. That's a complete lie. I got thrown out of so many games. It's embarrassing, but yeah.
I can't believe that happened. My goodness gracious.
Fucking, you're wrong, man. I mean, it also doesn't help when you give the umpire a Lens Crafters coupon. That doesn't help. You know. Here's some coupons for new glasses, you blind fuck.
Did he go? Did he actually go?
He ran me. It was the start of the game. I was leading off and I handed it to him and he ran me. My coach was so pissed. Well, I mean, it was a doubleheader.
Did he end up being humbled and end up going to lunch?
I don't know. I never saw him again. So
yeah, once you
probably quit after you, bro. You probably he's like, this job ain't worth it, man.
Yeah. Fucking shit. Oh, he was terrible. It was horrible. It was horrible. And it was actually a really good game for me as far as hitting. And I still was like pissed at him. Like, do your fucking job. Call it right. Or at least be consistent. And he was Angel Hernandez wannabe.
I'll tell you how bad this is. I was playing in, I think, 7th grade, and I still can remember the umpire's name.
Wow, that's scary. They're not real. They're not real human beings to me.
Well,
so
the only reason I remember his name is that I was dating his sister.
There you go.
And
there
he knew it,
go.
so we had a special relationship.
Apparently, yeah. Yeah, I guess that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll let my boy take us out.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.
Bye-bye.